Thank you so much indeed, everybody, for joining me today for today's CMA Members Showcase video. I am so privileged to be joined by Stefan Batorijs from Nature and Therapy. Stefan, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Janie, for asking me.
Oh, no, it's fantastic to have you because I think that you are really putting something out into the world that is incredibly needed and incredibly special. I've been, prior to speaking with you today, I've been stalking your website. I've been, looking through it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And so, I know that you've got this fascinating background. I know that you're an integrative psychotherapist, you're a mountain leader, you've got 25 years experience facilitating individuals and groups and in natural environments. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. So I was wondering if you could tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit more about the work that you do.
Yes, I'd love to. Difficult to encapsulate it in a nutshell. So we run forest bathing training courses. That's one side of what we do. And then on the other side, we also run one-to-one ecotherapy sessions, group work sessions, and we work with teams, corporate teams, and teams, for example, within the NHS. So people who want to come out to us into nature for a relaxation day, a team day, but with a difference, with a kind of spiritual emphasis to what we do, rather than a resourcing exercise per se. So it's about building resilience through an understanding of ourselves, understanding our connection to nature.
Absolutely. It's so important. You've mentioned some really incredibly sought after buzzwords, so to speak. When I say sought after, highly searched, things like ecotherapy, things like forest bathing, Shirin-yoku, for example, and so on. Can you tell the viewers and listeners a little bit more about what those actually mean in real terms?
Yeah, I'd love to. So they are all linked. So nature therapy is a kind of overarching term for what we do, but the precise differences, I guess, with forest bathing, the emphasis or the focus is purely on relaxation, on coming out into the forest, slowing down, engaging the senses. And I know it sounds very simple, but just that process of slowing down and switching on the senses has a very profound therapeutic effect on people. And my students are constantly coming back to me and saying, well, we hardly did anything, and this person was having these remarkable revelations. And it is such a powerful medium to work with. So that's why I love it. So yeah, the forest bathing is not intended to set out to be therapeutic, but that is the outcome of the work. Yes. Ecotherapy is, I would say, a bit more focused. So we're actually working with clients to understand what are their issues. Maybe they're working with trauma, or maybe they're working with some sense of dissociation in their lives. And through a process of mirroring, working with metaphors and symbols, and also working with the spirit of place, we aim to support those people to come back into a state of flow in their lives. So, and that's a similar kind of process with the coaching that we do as well, obviously a bit more targeted towards outcomes.
Yes.
With the group work, our ideal scenario is to come into the workplace and meet each of the individuals and interview them if we can. If that's not possible, certainly to get a good set of intended outcomes for that day. And then we build the day around the needs of the group, but with a particular emphasis on just doing nothing, actually, and just being. And that's what people appreciate the most. It's like they don't want to talk about structures and teamwork and stuff. They just want to come and be still.
It's interesting, isn't it? That stillness is often really quite hard, particularly when, with your corporate clients, I should imagine, because there's that whole emphasis, isn't there, on the constant needing to be seen to be doing and to be doing and so on. And it's very difficult, I think, sometimes to get people to step back and just to be. And it's beautiful that being in nature can facilitate this, can't it, in such an extraordinary way?
Yes, you make a really good point there, Janie. It is difficult, particularly with corporates who feel that they need to be doing something all the time and being active and achieving. We have a trick for that, actually. So some of the sensory exercises that we offer to people, they fully engage the mind, but they relax the body. So we give the mind a task, but within that task, they actually go into a deeper state of relaxation. Because the mind always likes to be busy and likes to be in control. So we say, okay, here's a little thing for you to do. And in the meantime, the person is actually going into deeper states of relaxation.
Fantastic. That is absolutely wonderful. And of course, obviously, we've touched on the corporate world, but of course, you work with individuals as well. And one of the questions I always love to ask people is, if somebody's interested in coming to work with you, how do they find out about you and the work that you do? Do you have, what would you like them to do? Would you like them to visit the website, email, phone you? What's the best sort of way of contacting you to actually sort of get hold of some of this gorgeous work that you're offering?
I think the best thing to do is to first of all look on the website and see if the language that we use to describe ourselves and our work and our values and mission statement are on the website.
Yes.
So you can look at those values and you can say, yes, that's in alignment with what I want. And then I suggest just giving us a ring, because we offer a free 20-minute phone call. So you can have a chat with me and talk about what issues you want to work with and see if we're a good fit. And then we can take it forward from there and arrange to meet.
Yes, that's amazing.
I normally always have the first meeting in a room so that we both feel safe, we can build rapport and understand the issues that we're working with. And also the particular way and method that I work with is quite unique. So it's good that we do that in a secure space. And then we arrange to go and meet outdoors somewhere. And that's where we continue. I usually ask people to commit to a minimum of 6 sessions to see a difference. And you'll find that as we get towards the end of those 6 sessions, we begin to see quite deep changes occurring for that person.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense to me. It sounds like a really beautiful way of structuring things. And of course, also you teach people to become presumably facilitators of this work as well. And so I'm obviously very aware of your courses. Can you explain to our viewers and listeners sort of what is so special and maybe different about the courses that you actually run at Nature and Therapy?
Yes, so we run a 3-stage training course in forest bathing. So our diploma course is on 3 levels, and it's split up that way because we believe people need time and space to integrate this work into their own practice. And as we all know, things come up in life, and so we can't always be completing a training course in such a short space of time. So the way it works is people come for an initial 3-day in-person training, and they receive a manual from us. In the back of the manual, they have instructions for the 2nd level, which is the praxis. So they work from home with the support of one of our lovely mentors. And lots of peer supervision sessions and lots of support. They complete praxis working on their own, reflective practice, leading walks, and doing studies of plants and animals to demonstrate developing that intimate relationship with the natural world. Once they've completed that, they send it back, I mark it, and they can then come on to level 3, which is the diploma training, the advanced training. And that's where we go deeper into the therapeutic aspects and mechanisms of nature. So how is nature therapeutic, and what's actually happening when we take people out into nature? And that's a 3-day residential training, which I've just completed 2 days ago.
Oh,
which was just out in the woods for actually out there for 4 days, camping in a little patch of grass next to the river. It was just idyllic.
Amazing. Yes. Gosh, it sounds so appealing. It really does. Just being able to take that time to connect to nature in that way, and to be in nature is just it is so healing. And it's so lovely to think that people are, doing this work with you, and they're going to be then able to take it on to support others in doing so. And so do you have sort of an accreditation process of some description?
Yes, I was going to come on to mention that. So first of all, I just wanted to say that our training is not online. It has to be done in person.
Yes.
Because you have to come and connect to the trees and actually feel what it feels like in your body.
Yes.
And the online training, I feel it doesn't quite reach that same place. So that's why we do our training in person, mostly here in Devon, in the woods, but I also run courses in northern counties and in Scotland. Each of the 3 levels, the basic, the praxis, and the advanced, have their own level of accreditation. So we are part of the CPD office, and they have an internationally accredited CPD certificate for each of the stages of the course that we run. So
right. Terrific. And of course, you are CMA registered, which again,
we're also CMA registered.
Yes, that's right. Yes, so obviously that's your CMA. We and for those who are sort of listening and viewing, so the way that the CMA accreditation works is that we take a course, we very, very carefully assess it, we look at everything to a really great depth, in-depth level. And then we put it through our assessment process, and then it comes out the other end and is accredited by the CMA, which is, again, an international accreditation. So really, it seems to me that you've really gone to great lengths to get everything on a very sort of official footing, which I think is a great comfort to anybody who's interested in training with you. And I think, there's that, but then I think your credentials very much speak for themselves, and also some of your facilitators, I had a chance to look at some of them as well. And you have a beautiful team there. I mean, you've really put together a stunning group of people. So yes, this just does sound remarkable. It really does. And I just want to thank you for putting this beautiful work out into the world. So if anybody was sort of on the fence, perhaps, let me just give you a tricky question here. If anybody was on the fence about coming to train with you, what would you say to them if they were unsure? Is there sort of, obviously we're not trying to persuade anybody to do anything they don't want to do, of course, but if anybody's saying, oh yes, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's for me or not, how would you sort of help them to gain a greater understanding of whether this might work for them?
Yeah, thank you, Jenny, for asking that. I was actually thinking about this question the other day.
Yes.
Based on some students' feedback to me. And I think the key thing for me is this is not just a training course. This is actually an opportunity to change an entire way of life. And I think that's the kind of broader aim of nature and therapy.
Yes.
My lofty intention is if we can get every single person in the world out forest bathing, then we're not going to do so much harm to the planet.
Yeah.
And I think that this training course has a vocational kind of aspect to it. It has a very strong spiritual aspect to it. I don't mean that in a religious sense. I mean that just in the pure sense of supporting people to re-find their deep, deep connection to nature, and to realize that we are not separate and distinct from nature. We are part of nature, and nature's part of us. And that's what the training is about, because if we can realize that in ourselves, then we have that confidence to teach other people. We don't need to learn structures and have crib sheets to do our teaching.
Sure.
We feel it inside ourselves, and then that's what enables us to share it with others. So that's what we do. We're also very practical. We give people all of the practical tools they need to actually run these walks. So we talk about the risk assessments, the permissions, we talk about the ways of leading, the different styles of learning in the forest. And we cover so much on the training process, because that's what we believe in, that people need to have that well-rounded training.
Absolutely. Yes. And you certainly offer that. It is superb. I just want to encourage everybody to come and take a look at your website. So the website name is, can you just explain that?
Yeah, natureandtherapy.co.uk.
Right.
We are, right as we speak, having a new website built. So it should be online by the end of this month. The old one is still up there, but it's been up there for 5 years. So it's kind of coming towards the end of its life, and we have got a new website. The content will be pretty much the same, but if you just hang on a couple of weeks, that will be live.
Hey, great.
And on that, you can see a description of the training course, the one-to-one work we do, and also, as you mentioned, our lovely team, the areas that we work in, and information about our philosophy.
Superb. Superb. I can't wait to see that, because the existing site is gorgeous. So it's just beautiful. That forest picture is just breathtaking. So yes. So honestly, Stefan, thank you so much. Just many thanks for putting this beautiful work out into the world. It's so important, needed more now than ever, I believe. Believe very strongly. So I just want to thank you for being with me today. I know that you are going to get a lot of response from this, because people need it. It's vital. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Not at all. Pleasure. See you soon. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.